Welcome everyone. As we have discussed about the change management process, change management model, and we talked about different types of changes. Now it's matter of how the changes being brought in the organization. There are different strategies which are available. So the strategies are your directive strategy, expert strategy, educative strategy, and participative strategy. So let's discuss one by one. The directive strategy will be where the individuals those are available and responsible for bringing changes in the organization are directed, instructed regarding the changes which has to be implemented within the organization as per the different dimensions of changes will be brought in their projection, and then on the basis of direction received, on the basis of instruction received, they try to implement all these changes so that the changes can be made familiar with the organization. Now, the another way which is available, that is the expert strategy. Now, in this particular method of change management, sorry. Now, with this, the expert strategy is consisting where the individual who is experienced with those changes to bring in the organization, to introduce in the organization, the individual who is well versed with how the changes can be implemented, can be made permanent within the organization. The person takes charge of such changes to bring in the organization, and with their expertise, that individual provides the information about how the changes has brought in the organization, tries to minimize any kind of resistance, any kind of reluctance among the people, and try to clarify different kind of doubts which may arise while changes being introduced in the organization. The third which is available, that is educative. Now changes, another method to bring changes in the organization is educating people about the things which are necessarily really required in the organization. What are the dimensions which organization is looking forward for? What are the benefits an individual will be receiving? Then how these changes are very necessary and can be brought in the organization? What things need to be done by the individuals to bring these changes in the organization? These things can be given as a part of education to all the employees, and then accordingly their practices being feed with all those implementations. So this is another way to go ahead for change management. And the last which is available, that is a participator, where individual who wants to bring the changes in the organization brings changes in their practices first, bring changes in their all the skill set, all the processes, whatever that person is responsible for, and then try to ask other people to be in the similar order, to follow the similar things, and to have practice of all these things. So these are the strategies which can be followed by any organization to bring changes in the organization. Now, when we came across with change management process and the strategies, we have to look forward for that the changes are not easily accepted by the people. These changes which an organization wants to have growth with a growth perspective in the organization may have some reluctance to by the different individuals. So there are resistance to change. So why an individual look forward for any resistance related to changes? These are the certain dimensions. The first dimension which is there, that is individuals predisposition towards changes, like any changes whichever is going to incur within the organization, they might have been prior information, or there might have a prior thought process among the individuals, among the employees related to that particular change. So the previous notions which are available with any individual with respect to changes can hinder the change implementation in the organization. These are a kind of reluctance which that person don't want to change. These are certain kind of barriers they have already created because of some already existing pre-notions with them. Then fear of unknown, as we have seen that innovative changes being available. So innovation means unfamiliar things. Fear of unknown means people people those are going to be part of these changes are identifying that the changes which are available or changes which need to be implemented by the organization will be not known to them, what kind of changes will available for them in their practices, whether the change will be beneficial for them with respect to execution or not. So all these things are the unknown dimensions which are available to them, what they have to do, how the changes will change their way of working. All these things are the dimensions. Then the uncertainty, whether the person, the changes which is being introduced in the organization, whether the individual will be capable of coping up with that or not, will be able to meet those targets which are being developed through the changes. So these are the uncertainties will be available, whether these changes will retain for longer duration, maintain, or this will disturb the current comfort zone for that. Another is self-interest. The individual who is working with some habitual way of performance, they are well versed with the processes, they are known with how to handle the different kind of situations. So they have got their interest of comfortability, their interest of their taste, their interest of their way of working. So on the basis of that as well, they comes up with resistance to change. Another dimension which is available for resistance to change is satisfaction with the status quo. Means the situation which is existing, they are very satisfying for the employees. They don't want to have any kind of alteration with respect to all these, we can say, methods. So in that dimension, we can say satisfaction with the current scenario may bring resistance to change. Another is peer pressure, that individuals, those are available as a colleague to employees, are pressurizing individual not to accept the changes as if they might have their personal interest or any other dimensions which are available in the organization, which we have discussed already or which we are going to discuss. Then disruption of cultural tradition or group relations might be changes which need to be bred or need to be introduced in the organization are going to change the cultural dimension, change to relationship with the employees and employers. So to have a status quo in the relationship, group relationship, cultural dimension, the individual may come up with the resistance to these changes. Lack of understanding and trust, because the new changes which will be there in the organization might bring new team members, might bring new challenges, and so people may have less trust related to the changes which has to be brought in the organization. They are not understanding the things. So for that, educative strategy need to be used. The another thing is speed with which change occurs. So if things are being introduced in such order that changes are part of, we can say, process. So as the changes will occur rapidly, so the people need to be adaptive again and again. They need to be ready for different kind of changes, need to be prepared for different kind of changes again and again, and this will be not beneficial for them to create any habitual dimension. Then we have incentives, insensitive manner of change introduction. That is how the change is being brought. If it is being participative in nature, then people might have some consideration for it, but it is just a directional dimension, directive strategies being used, they might have resistance. So if people are not sensitive enough, to bring changes, then difficult time changes means again it comes under the comfortability of individuals working profile. So if there might have requirement in timing and all these things, that will be a difficulty. And another, the last dimension of changes resistance is fear of failure. If the changes will brought in the organization and employee will be not able to succeed, they might have a throughout, or the people may terminate them from the organization. So this is a failure related fear available among the employees, due to which they come up with resistance to all these changes. And how these things will be done, that can be done with a different type of motive, with a different kind of dimension. We can use the change management strategies of directive, expert, educative and participative, so that this resistance can be minimized and smoothly change can be made in the organization practices. Thank you.